It's not an ordinary stone. As a matter of fact, this stone is very, very symbolic and significant. And you know what? This stone has literally changed my way of thinking. I'll explain. Hello, awesome. Great that you could join me today on this episode of Living Life to the Fullest series, where we get to talk about life lessons, hacks, possible positive habits, and for all round and better living. So this video is in two parts, and you can check out the second part of this video by clicking on the card over here. So back to my stone. Let me give you a little story about this stone. I got this stone on my trip to Israel in May of 2018. I was part of a Holy Land tour with other members of my local church assembly, and one of the sites that we visited while in Israel was the Valley of Elah. So you already know that was the place where the epic and famous battle between David and Goliath took place. Now we all know the story, right? We had the Philistines camped on one part of the valley, and then of course we had the Israelites being camped on the opposite sides to the north, and then of course you had this wide expanse of land in between the mountains, which was where the showdown occurred. Another thing is that in that valley there is a small stream flowing through, which is called the Brook of Elah. And we were told that there is this constant flow of water running, which sort of smoothens every stone or anything that is in its path. All right. So that's part of the reason why the stones there are so smooth and round to the touch. Of course, it's a seasonal thing, so some part of the year you would find that the brook is very dry. Some other parts of the year it would be flowing with water. But of course, when we went there, it was dry. And that is also the place where David picked his 5 stones in preparation for battle, and the same place where I got this stone right here. Now, the interesting thing is that every other item that I brought back with me from Israel were things that I bought with my money, like the sweet dates when we went to Palestine. I got oil from Shiloh. I also got mud from the Red Sea for my facials and everything. And I bought all of those things. The stone is the only thing that I picked from all of the sites that we visited. And at the time, I didn't really think much to it as to why I should pick up that stone and bring it back home with me. But thinking about it now, I realize that this stone is significant in the sense that this stone represents victory and success over obstacles and difficult circumstances that we might face in life. And each time I look at this stone, I realize that regardless of how small or insignificant or unable I appear to be, I can win. I can have success and victory over circumstances, just like David, who with one smooth stone slayed the big giant Goliath. Now, the story of David and Goliath is still one of my favorite Bible stories, and I think that a lot of people love a good story where the perceived underdog or the weak or the relegated triumphs over difficult situations and comes out on tops. You know, we love that story. But it's not just a story, and there are a whole lot of important lessons to be learned, especially in the attitude that David had in defeating and overcoming that obstacle, which is Goliath in this case. So I want to share with you exactly what those lessons are. Lesson number 1, be clear and confident in your quest. Now, if you remember the story very well, you will remember that David was very, very clear on what he needed to do. There was a threat to the Israelites, and he knew that he had to defeat that threat. That was his mission, that was his mandate, that was his mindset. David was actually sent by his father to take food to his brothers who at the time were at the war front. And when he got there, he started asking around, like, who is this dude who's been taunting and, you know, challenging the Israelites? Who is this guy? Is there anyone fighting him? Is there a reward for anyone who gets to defeat him and all of that? And as soon as David got all that information, he knew exactly what he needed to do. So are you in a difficult situation? Maybe you're facing an obstacle. Are you clear about what that is? Do you know what needs to be done? Have you counted the cost? Do you know what is required to get that project off the ground? Don't be vague. Don't say, oh, if I had more money, I'll be able to do my business, or I'll be able to go on that dream vacation. Can you be specific? How much exactly do you need? David was clear about what he needed to do. And so when the moment came for him to do what he had to do, he did it. Lesson number 2, refuse negativity. Now, one thing that you have to come to terms with is the fact that the world is not always going to applaud you just because you decided that you're going to be successful, or just because you are embarking on an important project. On the contrary, they're going to question your capabilities, your motivation, your qualifications. They're going to give you all of the reasons why you're not suited and qualified for the project that you're about to embark on. So many things. And a lot of times these things come in the form of good advice. You know, they just want to advise you and help you out, and, you know, patronizing you like that. That is such negativity, and David experienced it as well. So when David came around asking what was going on, even his own brothers sort of berated him, right? They told him, look, this place is not a hangout for kids, okay? Go home, be good, and just stay away from this place. Did David give up? But it didn't stop there. When David was eventually brought before Saul, who was pretty much overwhelmed by all of the things going on and was looking desperately for a solution, you know, King Saul told him, look, I understand your good intentions, but this guy has been trained in the art of war from his childhood, right? He knows this business. What do you know? You're a kid. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. King Saul was giving David all the reasons why he couldn't fight the giant Goliath. He literally told him, David, I understand that you're concerned, but you're not qualified. You don't have what it takes to fight this giant. So David had enough reasons from everyone around him that told him, go home, don't bother, just leave it. So he had enough reasons not to go ahead, but did that stop him? So never let people's negativity stop you, even if it comes in the form of good advice or, you know, like some encouragement. You know, it comes in very subtle forms, but you must recognize it for what it is and reject it. You don't need that negativity. Any information that is not taking you a step forward and helping you to actually achieve that goal, don't accept it, because the moment you do, you forfeit, you lose out on winning what would have been a great victory. So don't accept it. Okay, awesome. This is the first video of this 2-part life hack series called Living Life to the Fullest. There are 3 more lessons to be learned in this video, how to be successful in any endeavor. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you in any way, and if you've learned something, drop me a comment in the section below telling me what other lessons that you have learned from the story of David and Goliath. Be sure to watch out for the second part of this by clicking on the card over here. Remember to subscribe if you have not yet done that, and please keep your notification activated so you know when the next video drops. That is so important. Well, my name is Zoe Maven. I had an amazing time. Do remember, life is beautiful when you know how to live it. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.